You found it at last, Enoch. It only took you 300 years. A lot faster than I thought. The Watchers are in that tower. You had trouble finding it because it's wrapped in a veil of distorted space. Enoch, the Watchers await you within. Seek them out and bind them. His efforts had been hindered by a shroud of distorted space that hid its location. On the other side of this dimensional rift lies the giant tower the fallen angels erected, surrounded by a sprawling city.
To think a tower of this magnitude could be
That's
hidden within
cool
that interdimensional portal.
And here we are at the base of the tower. We're not actually in it yet. We're just in the surrounding area. Yes.
Where'd your weapon go?
Oh, you don't keep weapons from area to area.
Okay.
It's either that or it's because I'm using stage select to go from one to the other. But whatever.
Just
Yeah,
nap this guys.
exactly. Also, it's just more opportunity to see the melee combat.
Kick somebody in the face.
So, the other thing with weapons is that you have a dedicated dodge move. With hand-to-hand combat, you do a dodge roll. It doesn't have invulnerability frames, but it's pretty good. With the arch, you do this little, like, diagonal dash, which is okay if you're trying to get away from, like, shockwave, or if you're just trying to hop over something tiny. But doesn't exactly move you very quickly.
So, question.
Yep.
Does this armor do anything else, or is it just for stylistic choice?
No. Only one of the armors actually has any special effects, and that one you have to collect a whole bunch of pieces in every level. By the way, I'm not going to be showing that off. The areas that you have to collect these things in are these really drab, really boring areas, and like they hide it somewhere in the level. Basically, if you want those armors, all I can recommend is use YouTube and pause frequently. That's how I did it. It took like 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, it's naked.
Oh, by the way, this move I'm doing here where he jumps over his head, if you delay your button push, so you just like hit light attack and then you pause and then hit light attack again, you'll flip over their head or you'll break their guard. This is just a common thing with all the weapons. It also allows you to use a different combo than normal. If you see me, if you just see the normal combo where you like swipes a whole bunch of times and then ends with knocking them away, that's just button mashing X. If the combo ends with him knocking them into the air, that's the guard breaker combo.
So, do these people like the Fallen Angels, or?
Yes.
Huh.
The Fallen Angels have basically been giving them gifts constantly for the last 300 years.
Oh.
So...
Well, see, if Dragon Age taught me anything, is that's how you win.
It works.
Constantly giving gifts.
So, here's the thing, is that the way I play, I typically just steal everyone's weapons, because it's a little bit easier to deal with them without the weapons. This does mean that you get to see a lot of the same animation in the first bit of every fight.
Hey, we found it. No doubt about it. They're here. They've really outdone themselves, building something like this.
These posts that I'm whacking, by the way, each
Don't
one
worry.
of them
It's not
activates
gonna be a
something in the
problem.
level. They are
Stop
mandatory to
them.
find. So,
Alright, bye.
Okay, yeah, that's a gameplay mechanic freaking every game in the universe does, so I can't really say anything about that.
yeah, this...
Also, his continued dialogue makes me happy.
Yeah, none of the dialogue for him is actually repeated either. Every time you see him, he has something new to say.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
This level is just kind of long. There's like not really any like special stuff.
It's still friggin' gorgeous.
Take a shot. Anyway, yeah, but it's not exactly like you'll see what I mean when we get to the next level. There's a lot more combat there, and the combat gets a lot more complicated and difficult. Here you're just kind of going through the motions, and the only weapon you have is the arch, so enemies either come at you with the arch or nothing.
See, I'm curious what the next weapon is, because I'm sort of excited. Because this is like a crazy hacksaw sword thing. I'm assuming one of them is going to be like some crazy fire sword or hammer. I don't know.
Well, that's most of the fun, at least initially. See, I'm kind of split. On one hand, the weapons are really cool and unique, and like slowly giving them to the player keeps interest in these first couple levels. On the other hand, the combat doesn't really get good until you have tons of people wielding different weapons. Because like the weapons have this rock paper scissors mechanic going where each of them is strong against another weapon.
Worship the fallen angels as gods.
No.
They don't even realize how vain evolution is without strife.
I get it.
Exactly.
I hate that mechanic. I get it. I can understand its purpose. I understand where it fits into things. I just hate it.
I'll be bringing that up again later once we actually have access to more of the weapons, because talking about it now would be spoilers.
Spoilers for me. I'm actually interested in this shit.
But yeah, that you've pretty much seen this whole level. Like, there's really, it's just kind of, you know, hit the switches to activate the stairs, go up the stairs to go to the next level to activate the switches to hit the stairs.
I think it's kind of interesting what the Archangel said. It's like you understand how completely pointless evolution is if they don't actually have to struggle, right? It's like, yeah, that's sort of, that makes a lot of sense right there, Mr. Archangel.
And it makes sense from a non-theist point of view,
Yeah.
which is interesting. It's non-canon
According to some people,
For
but we'll
pretty
not
much-
get into that.
for pretty much everyone. Makes a good game, though.
I
I suppose this is about as good a time as any. There is a sequel to this game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on mobile devices,
God damn it!
And-
Don't do.
and it's not even good as like a mobile game. Like pretty much,
Don't.
like from what I've heard, it stars a new female protagonist some point in the future from now. Lucifer features heavily, and it has like another set of fights and stuff like that. It's really cool, but it's all on the mobile, and it wasn't released except in Japan. So even if you're interested, you know, there's no shot.
See, I'll be entirely honest. I hate it more than almost anything when games do shit like that. Because if I want to play a series, I'm okay with like progression from PS1 to PS2. I'm okay with that shit. But don't go from like PS2 to DS to PSP to PS3 back to DS. I'm looking at these mods. None of that shit.
By the way, we didn't see this because this is I'm using stage select as previously stated. But if you start a fresh game, I think it starts you out, or no, after the first level when you fight the green guy, Azazel, you're wearing the brown armor, I do believe, which we'll be seeing next level, and you get your ass kicked immediately. And Lucifer's like, huh, I guess that armor's not that good, and then he switches you to the white armor that you see everywhere.
You're just in the brown armor for no reason, or what?
If you look in the intro cutscene, you can actually see the helmet for the brown armor on the table. So it's assumed that that was Enoch's armor that he just had, and then Lucifer was like, that's not going to cut it, here you go. It makes sense, but like, it's just a weird scene that doesn't happen if you play the level with stage select.
I mean, if I had a choice between wearing, like, regular armor or wearing armor crafted by God and his angels, I'm gonna go with the holy armor. Like, not to say anything against your average blacksmith, but he's not fucking God.
To be fair, all of these ones are, like, actually kind of historically accurate-ish. Like, God's armor, if all the sections break off, Enoch's just in his jeans, so... Yeah.
Does he have jeans?
I have no idea. If I had to guess, like, a reason why, you know how Lucifer has all these weird anachronistic things? It's just possible that he just likes jeans. I don't know. He likes cell phones, and those don't exist either.
I can't really judge the guy, because I enjoy the cartoon. What the hell is that?
Oh, these guys. These guys are awesome.
Enoch, you do have the strangest pets. Okay, here's the deal. See these little things? They're called gales, weapons made from God's wisdom, just like arches. They'll be a little harder to steal. First, you'll need to get in close.
So these guys are called Sarges. They eventually become a normal enemy, but this part is sort of like a mini-boss. They just kind of try to snipe at you from miles away.
Successful.
Yeah. Their shots actually home in on you, but they don't do very much damage, so it's not as big of a deal if you get hit. Also, these containers... These containers...
Is this weapon too?
Yeah. These containers along the way will drop parts if you're damaged.
So the game's not complete with weapons.
No. The Gale, we'll be getting it fairly soon. I'll talk about it more then. But yeah, this entire section you just have to run from them.
That's frustrating.
It's alright.
Well, I mean, when you want to, like, crazy saw sword someone's face or something, they're just sitting there poking you with a goddamn.
Yeah, it's kind of a tease that they show you it here, but you don't get the boss fight till later. Because it's not like after this part you fight them. There's more of the running around activating switches, and then you fight them. Yeah. Thankfully the third weapon doesn't do that, it just shows up and then you get it.
Hey guys, we learned our lesson, just have this cool weapon now.
Also, we're actually, as we get closer to the tower, we're also going higher up.
I've noticed that, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's about climbing. I mean, the game does have Ascension in the name. It's called the Ascension of Metatron. Which, I don't know what that means. Any references.
I kind of know what Metatron is, but it doesn't make sense within that context.
There's Metatron in reference to Silent Hill.
Zone of the Enders, other Konami games. They just like it. Also, these things are really easy to get with the Arch. Not so much any other weapon.
Because you can hover?
No. It's because your weapon has a really wide attack when you're in the air. Just all the other weapons, when you use them in the air, have a very direct attack. This is the only one where you, like, swing it.
No, not yet. He's treading water.
Also, Lucifer's quotes about you not doing so well are the same even if you're doing perfectly.
He's been through the drill before. Well, don't worry. We'll get it done. It's only a matter of time.
Well, you can't really judge the
Yeah,
devil
he's been
on
through the drill
being
before.
fast.
Well, he's not the devil yet.
Right. I'll be in touch.
Yeah, God. Yeah, I love you too. Bye. So,
Said I call, honey. God damn it, I'll call.
so here's the boss fight in this arena surrounded by eyes.
These guys are really cool looking.
Yeah. These guys specifically, you fight this enemy type later, but they're not like Silver Sarge and Gold Sarge. They're just
You'll need a
Sarge.
gale for this battle.
Also, kind of a dick move, the Arch is the weapon that's weak to the Gale, so you're doing like half damage or something here.
Oh god, if your weapon wasn't purified, this would suck.
Yeah, if your weapon's not purified, you're doing like nothing. Just get away from the fight, purify your weapon, and then give it another try. Also, these guys like to dodge a lot.
Yoink.
Oh, here we go.
That was cool. Big shot.
Out of all the weapons, this one's probably the coolest, even if it isn't the best. So the way it works is, it's a disc with these 6 little projectiles, and you fire the projectiles. It's entirely ranged, it has no melee attacks, and if you just button mash, you'll fire them really quickly. If you have a delay, you fire them like artillery, and the artillery shots actually do more damage. It doesn't have the problem that all the others do, wherein if you do the armor breaking attack, the delayed button pushes, enemies will dodge them.
That was cool.
You can also send out the whole thing, which very rarely hits, but when it does, it's really nice. And its dodge move is the, I think it's called Gale Tackle. It's the thing where the projectiles go to the sides like wings and dashes, which can be done in the air as well.
So what's its, if the Arch had the hover, what is this one?
The air dash.
That was cool.
You also get a mortar if you like hold down on the delayed button push. You fire all of them in the same way that you do with one at a time, but you fire all of them in that way. It's really cool. It doesn't. It's not very good for. It's not very good for the fights against the fallen angels because it doesn't stagger them each hit, so you just have to stay mobile and stay away from them. Also, if they do like the counter like move where if you hit them then they counter you, with this you just slam it to the ground and take all the damage anyway, so you can't cheat.
Good news. You got a Gale. Nope, I haven't told him that yet. I figure all in good time.
See, this is like some crazy waterbending shit right here. This is cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
By the way, for this whole weapon is 2.
Just whenever I have it. It looks really cool, but because it doesn't do a lot of damage, and because it hits very frequently, it gets tainted really fast.
It doesn't look the most practical. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like driving a monster truck to work. People are gonna think about that you're weird for it, but who cares? You have a goddamn monster truck.
By the way, these things, the Wisps, they only show up in platforming areas and boss fights. They're really, really, really annoying. They don't do, like, very much damage, but if they hit you, they knock you back. So, if, for instance, you're in a platforming section...
Platforming, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. They also have a slight lunge. Like, when they go to hit you, they don't just float and you hit them, although that's usually how it happens. What usually happens is you'll be jumping, and then they'll see their opportunity, lunge for you, and then you fall to your death and have to try over again. And if you're going for a G rank, these things will be the bane of your existence.
Because that whole don't fall into bottomless pits thing.
Yeah.
Even though this isn't bottomless, I can see the bottom.
Well, the thing is that you don't die when you fall into a bottomless pit. Lucifer snaps his fingers, and you're back on the piece of land right before you fell.
Oh.
So you don't even die, it's just, that's a special thing for G ranks. You can't fall, ever.
There's a metaphor in there somewhere.
Well, he apparently didn't get the memo.
He's too busy talking on his phone. Seriously, this is really cool.
It's a really cool weapon, it's just not practical at all.
Now, how do you switch between these?
That's a funny thing. That is to say, you can't.
You just have to nab an arch.
Yes. If the problem with it is that there are segments in the game where having one is really advantageous, and this is where that whole rock paper scissors thing really falls apart, because you're stuck with whatever weapon you have. So the only way to take advantage is to either get lucky and just have the weapon which works, or know ahead of time and have it already.
I will admit, the combos to that are freaking cool.
This is actually a problem I have, is that, like, there are a whole bunch of combos for hand-to-hand combat, and hand-to-hand combat's really fun, but there's no way to use it, like, for any stretch of time, because as soon as you steal one weapon, you have to wait for that weapon to break, and weapons breaking is very infrequent. And it's not like they're using the D-pad, so, you know, this could have all been done via that, you know, like up for arch, left for gale, right for the weapon we haven't seen yet, and down for melee.
But nobody would use melee, to be honest. I mean, you would, but...
It's really cool, and, like, it's actually fairly powerful. It's because all the other weapons have that whole rock, paper, scissors mechanic. Melee is just, like, it's not as good as the opposing weapon or the same weapon, but it doesn't take damage penalties anywhere. So
it's true neutral.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, if you're going for Ishtar's armor, the very first section that you'll have to play is just to our right. You can see the platform right over there. You have to dash jump over there, and then that'll take you to the first segment. Once again, I'm not going to point all these out because there's like a YouTube guide for it, and they're not interesting, and the armor you get isn't really that good.
This is a Let's Play, not a guide. It's your videos, right?
Like,
that was cool!
I'm using that attack a lot right here because it honestly isn't very good, and most enemies after this start to block it. So, you're going to see significantly less of it as we go.
You're hurling a mass of, like, crazy, godly crystal things. Awesome.
That attack, where he fires off all of them in the air in rapid succession, that's probably the best move that the Gale has. Because you can stay far away from everyone. You hit with all 6 projectiles. The only problem with it is if you're doing a Fallen Angel fight, because they don't get staggered, they can change to the countering technique mid, like, shot and just completely destroy it.
That's a shame. Then again, you just get done saying it's not my
Yeah, no. I'm gonna stick with the arch as long as I can. At least until the third weapon. The third weapon is easily my favorite, and I'm gonna try not to use it too much. It's hard, man. That weapon's really cool.
Well, it's sort of set a high bar because the Gale, in my opinion, is awesome. While not effective, pretty awesome. So just this entire level's climbing to the tower.
Yeah.
Because this looks like the final push.
The rest of the game takes place in the tower, but yeah, once we're in the tower, we never leave. The entire game
He
takes
seems to
place.
be having trouble. It'll take more than this to keep him down.
I can't
I'll
imagine
be in
living
touch.
under that tower. I mean, it,
Oh, hold on. Here's another Fallen Angel fight.
it's Azazel?
Azazel. No, this is one of... Or no, this is Azazel. Or no, sorry, all. By the way, you get to hear the individual music before their fight, or during these fights before the actual fight. He has the best music by far.
To find that love. That is why I must fight you. Even though you come In the name of the Lord.
Just listen to this song.
They're really going to fight.
It's pretty good music.
By the way, I'm trying to tease out that kick because you can punish him for doing it, but it comes out really fast. Also, this guy's weapon is technically considered to be the Gale, so I'm doing like 0.5 less damage. Something like that. Hard to tell because I'm still, you know, hitting him.
Still wrecked.
Yeah. See, it's funny you say that. Yeah, I lost.
This is not amusing.
Hold, Sariel.
So now we get to see all of the fallen angels.
It looks as if they've succumbed to Samuel's will.
So is Sario like... He's not the head honcho.
Oh, no, not even close. He's the first boss. Semiyaza is the head honcho. He's the most powerful of the angels. So here's
Know our true intent.
Azazel.
You of all people can envision the future of the tower.
Over there is Sariel, I think.
Tell me, boy, have you never lifted anything heavier than a pen?
What the hell was that?
That's actually a plot point.
So,
Can't tell you. Sorry.
now was that a supposed to lose fight, or are you just awful?
No, I just messed up there.
Oh.
If I wasn't trying to tease out that really fast kick, I could have won. But yeah,
What the hell is that?
that's a Nephilim.
That's a Nephilim, a creature born from the unholy union of humans and angels.
Basically, when a human and an angel love each other very much, they form these weird, cute, gooey blob things.
What is it doing out of a Studio
Follow
Ghibli
it
film?
into the tower.
See, it's funny you say that. I've heard it in a couple places that the levels are all based on the animation styles of various anime studios.
You could clear this in 7 hours, if you're good enough.
That lip sync.
That was bad.
So here's the best part of this level.
These are portraits of the archangels.
You know those swans following us around? This is their human form in, like, stained glass.
Is that Michael? Here we
A
go.
fitting rendition of Uriel, the angel of warfare.
This part's just platforming. There's no combat. Just really nice organ
It would appear
music.
this is me. So this is how humans picture the Archangel Michael.
Blue one's Michael.
I wish they said what it was.
This must be Raphael. The kindness in his heart is perfectly plain.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, the pink angel is Gabriel.
Yeah. Gabriel was a dude.
Gabriel.
Nope.
This atmosphere of wisdom truly befits her.
It's just one of the cases where a name that was slanted towards women was later adapted.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that part's really nice.
Take a shot.
And
Okay.
here's my score.
Nice.
Boom! S rank.